Coming up on News 2, what would you do if a tsunami hit? It's National Tsunami Preparedness Week. VITEMA will activate the tsunami sirens territory-wide, and a drill includes many. Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Justice meets at the Legislature. Details. Plus, a 25-year-old is arrested in connection with the murder of a man in the Christiansted Public Cemetery on Sunday. Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. Topping our newscast, law enforcement agencies appeared before senators Tuesday. The Senate Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Justice received updates on where each agency stands. News 2's Erica Parsons has more.
Funding continues to be a problem for the territory's law enforcement agencies.
I believe it was approximately $8 million, I believe.
That was cut?
Yes.
Attorney Griffith?
The first budget cut was $1,012,000 on personnel only. The second budget cut is $500,000.
Officials from the Police and Justice Departments and the Law Enforcement Planning Commission testified before senators Tuesday. The focus, the status of each agency and their biggest challenges.
We are struggling because we just don't have enough prosecutors to handle the cases that we have before us.
The major concern for me is the hiring of a director of financial management services.
I think that it's important for us to be able to hear from them. We're almost 90 days into the new administration, and certainly they have had a time to do an assessment of their various departments, and we wanted to make sure that both my colleagues and the public hear from them.
Agency heads testified that they're working to reorganize their departments with the limited resources they have. Lack of training also continues to plague these agencies. Though challenged financially, department heads say they are continuing and in some cases implementing training in various areas to build more efficient departments. However, those agencies may see more staff reductions because of the cash-strapped government.
They would like to cut 4 attorney positions for excess WAPA bills.
Erica Parsons, News 2.
The Bureau of Corrections, Fire Services, and EMS agencies also testified on Tuesday. The Virgin Islands is at the center of an energy discussion involving key players from all over the Caribbean. The first Caribbean Clean Energy Technology Symposium is going on right now in St. Thomas at the Marriott's Frenchman's Reef and continues until Friday. Stakeholders from the public and private sectors to explore the expanded role that clean energy technologies can play in the electricity, transportation, industrial, and commercial sectors in the Caribbean region.
The function of the symposium is a collaboration of all the ministry heads of all the various Caribbean islands so that we can meet under one roof to collaborate their alternative energy and renewable energy efficiency programs throughout the various Caribbean islands. First time this has ever been done because focus hasn't been given to the Caribbean in the past.
The territory is making good news of Tsunami Awareness Week. Various government agencies, including the Department of Education, they're pulling together to make sure the territory is tsunami prepared, starting with our students. On Tuesday, Ivana Udorican High School did its tsunami evacuation drill, but on Wednesday, it's going to be Adelita Cancryne's turn. News 2's April Knight has the details.
Wednesday is no regular school day for Cancryne Junior High. At 10 a.m., these tsunami sirens will blare and Cancryne students will come streaming out these gates toward higher ground, a response to a major tsunami drill by the Department of Education and VITEMA.
We have to practice it because we're talking about children's lives.
For National Tsunami Awareness Week, drills like these are being held in various schools. They're simulating a response to a tsunami strike that would occur if an earthquake of significant magnitude struck off the coast of Panama.
The teachers will assist the students and move them out of their classrooms, out the front gate, and they're going to go up the hill towards higher ground. We're going to have the police department, we're going to have extra staff, we're going to have emergency medical services on scene ready in case anything goes wrong.
This low-lying stretch of road right in front of Cancrine gets flooded even with just a little bit of rain. That means the school is especially vulnerable when it comes to tsunami strikes. But Cancrine is not the only school at risk. 16 schools across the territory are located less than 80 feet above sea level. Education officials said they're making sure each of those schools are ready in the event of a tsunami.
At Cancrine, we have installed 2 gates to help the school to evacuate and traverse across the street and get up to higher grounds. In St. Croix, we are actually utilizing the existing routes to head to higher ground.
For News 2, I'm April Knight.
Now, similar trainings and drills will be held for 2 St. Croix schools toward the end of this week. It's Pearl B. Larson Elementary and Arthur A. Richards. In other news, Major Lee Womack, 25 years of age, has been arrested and held without bail on the charges of murder first degree and robbery first degree. That's in connection with the slaying of Egbert Thomas Jr., 79, of Anna's Hope, that occurred on Sunday, March 22nd, as we reported on Monday night's newscast. Police said Thomas was in the Christiansted Public Cemetery visiting the grave of his deceased wife. Thomas was then assaulted by Major Lee Womack, a homeless man that was squatting in one of the structures. Officers arrived after a call to 911, and Womack hurled rocks and other items, but officers were eventually able to arrest him. Thomas sustained multiple lacerations to the head, chest, and the forearm, and succumbed to his injuries, police say, at the cemetery. Gregory Williams, 23 years of age, of St. Croix, was arrested today and charged in district court with illegal receipt of firearms, possession of a firearm with an obliterated serial number, and unauthorized possession of firearm. Williams made his initial appearance before U.S. Magistrate Judge Cannon and was detained pending a detention hearing scheduled for Thursday, March 26, 2015. Williams was arrested pursuant to a warrant issued after he was indicted by a federal grand jury on Tuesday, March 17th, in a 3-count indictment. If convicted of illegal receipt of firearms, Williams faces a maximum of 10 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. DLCA Commissioner-designee Devin Carrington is commending some consumers that recently made reports to the VI Consortium online website regarding spoiled food items being sold by the Cost You Less retailer on St. Croix, and even emailed some photos. The commissioner said while the VI Code assigns the regulation of the quality of food items on the shelf to the Department of Health Division of Environmental Health, the role of DLCA is to ensure that a licensee does not allow or permit in the licensed establishment any improper or wrongful behavior of a substantial character and of public concern. He said the department shall do its investigation and take appropriate action. Turning our attention overseas, search and recovery teams are on the scene of a jetliner crash in the French Alps. The plane was on its way from Spain to Germany when it went down mid-flight. French officials say there was no distress call from the plane as it approached the Southern Alps. They also say recovery operations will be difficult because the plane crashed in rough terrain in a remote area. President Barack Obama spoke to Germany's chancellor to express his condolences. The White House says there's no indication terrorism was involved. And keeping our eye on the economy, here's a look at the New York Stock Exchange with our stock market watch. The Dow, Nasdaq, S&P all down. The Dow 104, Nasdaq 16, S&P 12. Coming up on News 2, Women's History and VI History Month recognition continues. Who were the 3 rebel queens on St. Croix that played a huge role in 1878 during a violent rebellion? Half the city of Frederiksted was burned down. We'll be right back. In tonight's VI History Moment and Women's History Month recognition, we remember the 3 rebel queens on St. Croix. Now, even after the abolition of slavery, conditions in the Danish colony were very tough. Frustration and unrest were brewing. In 1878, a violent rebellion took place in which houses, sugar mills, sugar fields, and over half the city of Frederiksted burned down. 3 women, Mary, Agnes, and Matilda, were especially active in that rebellion. Today, they are considered heroines in the islands. Queen Mary, aka Mary Thomas, was one of the leaders of the rebellion on St. Croix in 1878. The rebellion is thus locally known as the Fire Burn. 3 women came to be the symbols: Mary Thomas, Axeline Elizabeth Salmon, Carl Agnes, and Matilda McBean. Those were their full names. The Danish authorities harshly put down that rebellion. Around 100 of the black population lost their lives. One of the main roads on St. Croix today, as we know, is called Queen Mary Highway. The Community Foundation of the Virgin Islands is offering summer enrichment scholarships this year. Students up to the grade of a current high school junior can apply for these summer awards if they're enrolled in school in the territory and demonstrate financial need. The summer programs can be on or off island, and the maximum amount a student can receive is $2,500. The final deadline to apply is May 15th. Applications can be submitted online at CFVI's website at www.cfvi.net. The Virgin Islands Literary Festival we mentioned last night, and that book fair officially opens on Friday, March 27th with a keynote address by award-winning local author Tiffany Unique. The Book Bacchanal event begins at 4 p.m. and that features book sales, book signings, vendors, performances by Music and Motion Dance Academy, II Cultural Dancers with music by Central High School Jazz Ensemble, and much more. Then at 5 p.m., there will be a poetry and prose improvisational response to art. That's at 6 p.m. Sharon Miller, author of The Whale House and Other Stories, and Joanne Hillhouse, author of Musical Youth, will be launching their latest books. An open mic poetry is included. It's all sponsored by the Caribbean Museum Center for the Arts. Now be on the lookout Saturday for Red Cross volunteers and firefighters. They'll be standing at various intersections across the territory from 9 to 3 for the annual Fill a Boot campaign. Here's more.
They will be out with us requesting funds from the community to assist, because assisting us is assisting you, the community. The intersections on St. Croix is Kmart West, Basin Triangle, Five Corners, and Sunny Isles intersection. In St. Thomas, it's going to be Niski Center, Fort Christian, Mandela Circle, Tutu Park Mall, and Red Hook. And in St. John, it's going to be Cruz Bay.
The most frequent disasters are home fires, and so that along with the fire services, we respond, and families that are displaced, we use to provide food, clothing, a hotel, replacement of medication, or any emergency items that they may need.
Now here's something else to mark on the calendar. The Association of Latin Women, Inc. will be celebrating their 3rd anniversary this Friday, March 27th in St. John, and then Saturday 28th on St. Thomas at the Adelita Cancran Junior High School Auditorium at 7 p.m. President Sofia Del Rosario says everyone is welcome to join in. Many members of the Latin community will be in attendance, along with special guests from New York, famous singer Rafi Colon. On St. John, Pastor David Ovando and his church will be present. And just a quick reminder, there will be a change in programming this week due to the 2015 NCAA Basketball Championships that will be aired here on CBS TV2. Just as we did last week, NEWS2 will not be aired at its regularly scheduled times on Thursday and Friday, March 26th and 27th at 7 p.m. However, we will be back on air on Monday, March 30th with our regular scheduled programming. Be sure to stick around. Your NEWS2 AccuWeather forecast comes your way next.